everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about the narcissistic mother. There are so many aspects of this that are shocking to people, that is so hard to understand and takes so long to actually accept. I'm going to dissect a lot of this today and talk about this very taboo subject. Watch this video. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please click the little subscribe button, the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. This is a topic that is so hard to discuss in modern day society because it's so taboo. It's so like, oh, they couldn't have done that. It couldn't have been that bad. Maybe you deserve that. No one can understand how people are born in families with mothers who seemingly hate them, who seemingly challenge them, threaten them, feel threatened by them, like to compete. Mothers who make you feel invisible, like you're unwanted, unlovable, something wrong with you. Mothers who try to triangulate the rest of the family or anyone you really know to go against you so that you can be the excuse for their disgusting behavior. Let's dive into this. How do I know if I have a narcissistic mother? This is the question. So many clients find my work and they come to me like, for some reason, the way you speak and what you say, it feels like me. How do you know me so well? And how do I know me so well? How can I understand what's really going on? How do I know if I had a narcissistic mother? And I say, well, do you suffer from self-doubt? Do you have an uncertain identity? Do you find yourself in toxic relationship dynamics? Are you a people pleaser? Do you feel codependent in some ways, like you're not capable of some things? Are you an overachiever or are you an underachiever? Did you just give up or did you try so hard to prove that you were enough? Think about it. What we have to understand is these aspects of our personality at this point in life are not normal and they're not natural. It's not natural to grow up feeling like I have to earn love, like I have to please someone all the time, even though it doesn't make sense to me or feel good to me. It doesn't make sense that I'm not allowed to have my emotions. It doesn't make sense that I don't have someone supporting me in what I feel emotionally. It's not normal to have a hypercritical mother who puts you down, who cuts you, who says those little things that you're like, whoa, was that a put down? Right? It's not normal for them to blame you for their behavior, for them to blame you for their bad mood, for them to say there's something wrong with you, that you need a normal thing. It's not normal for your mom to pin people against you. It's not normal for you and your siblings to not get along. And mom in the middle of that. It's called triangulation. It's not normal for your mother to choose a man over you. It's not normal for you to raise yourself and spend a lot of time alone. That's called neglect. It's not normal for you to be the problem and the reason that I'm always in a bad mood. It's not normal for you to have true problems and issues and be blamed for them. It's not normal that you grow up with a sense of I am bad. Shame identity. So I'm going to go over some of the things that you can look at to validate yourself. First thing is, when I talk to my women in my inner work classes, there's a lot of women with narcissistic mothers in these classes. And we were kind of laughing the other day because once you start to get validated by people going through the exact same experience, you're like, holy shit, right? So these women are all like, wow. And one of the things we're laughing about is I call it the 3-2-1 threshold. Mom can keep her attention on you for 3, 2, 1, back to mom, right? So we got to laugh about it. And it happens in relationships too, right? But when you have a mother that is narcissistic, the attention must be on her at all the time, and it's her way or the highway, right? So when you're an extension of someone, you can't have your autonomy. You can't have an identity. You certainly can't feel good about yourself unless I agree with it or it works for me. So the 3-2-1 threshold is, you know, mom, I really want to talk about something. You get literally 3, 2, 1. Okay, back to me. I'm really done talking about you. They don't say that, but that's what it's implied. Like, God, I remember a client of mine telling me she'd be on the phone with her mother, and she's like, I called to tell her about a situation that was going on in me and in my life. And First of all, it was weird she didn't call to check on me, but which they don't do. But the other thing that she thought was weird is as soon as, this is when she didn't figure it out yet, as soon as she'd be talking about it, all of a sudden she's like, everything I said, my mom would relate back to herself. Like, hey, mom, I just did this. Mom, well, I did that. It's like, it can never be about you. It's a 3, 2, 1, back to mom. So that's one thing to really look at, right? Because that is not natural. Also, are you more nurturing to them than they are to you? Are you caretaking their emotional needs? Are you making sure they're okay all the time? Are you making sure that mom's in a good mood and what can I do to do? That is not natural. That is not natural. Are you worried that if you're too happy, it'll be taken away? Because it's almost like a trigger for them, the part of themselves that they denied. They can't actually tolerate you being authentic, innocent, natural, happy, because they're not. And one thing I learned a long time ago in my practice by just hearing so many, especially women of narcissistic mothers and men too, but I had a lot of women come in with this, is not being able to feel your achievement. Look, you try and strive to achieve, to prove to mom that, see, mom, I'm not bad. I am worthy of your love. But what we have to understand is, yes, that was our childhood pattern or our adult pattern for our wounded inner child. But the thing is this, they already know you're good. That's why you're the target. So when you're trying to do things to show them that you're good, you're in a double bind because they're now pissed that you're shining brighter than them, but they won't let you feel it anyway, which is then that other issue that women of narcissistic mothers have is, I can't feel my goodness. Because I would have all these achievements and she would just remind me that I suck anyway. But to the outside world, she needed me to look good so people would like me so that she would look a good mother. It's very covert, right? So these are all the things that we deal with, that high achieving but not being able to feel the high achieving. It's never enough. Why is it never enough? And then what happens is it gives you a very distorted view of worth. Now you start thinking your worth is in your achievements and you look at other people that way too. You might have a partner that's like, why can I never be enough? You're like, you don't know why. But you're like, why wasn't it ever enough for me? This is what you have to know. Your achievements will never heal your inner child. In fact, that's what you did to sort of scapegoat your own inner child, because your inner child was the one that wasn't good enough for mom in your experience. So to really heal these wounds is to do that inner child work. This is what I'm doing all day long with people because it's literally the only thing that completely sets you free and heals, right? So what does that look like? How do we start to heal the inner parts of us that weren't mothered, that weren't nurtured, especially not consistently? Sure, and this is the thing that makes us gaslight ourselves, is we're like, well, she was this though, and she did there, and whatever. We have to understand that in this healing, you might have seen my video called The True Truths. In healing, there's 2 truths. My mother was really amazing at sometimes, and then she was also super narcissistic. Or my mother really abused me, but then she was also like really fun. We have to understand that 2 truths are always real. You can love your mother and she was a bad mom. You don't need to feel guilt for owning the truth of your reality with mom, because guess what you did your whole life? You owned a lie about yourself. I'm not enough. I don't deserve. That's a lie that you were conditioned into believing. So I think it's fine for you to let go of the guilt and own the truth that I had a not good enough mother. And so now to really start that healing is, number 1, notice what it is and accept what it is. Stop saying, well, maybe not though. Maybe she wasn't this. It doesn't matter if she's labeled NPD or not. She is not a good, perfect mother. She had emotional wounding and created emotional wounding in you. So what I like to say is there's a huge scale of narcissism. And what it means is she's emotionally immature. She's self-centered. She doesn't know how to be compassionate or empathic with you or empathetic with you or mother you correctly, because it feels like it's taking away from herself because she didn't get that, right? This is a generational wound. If you check out my courses, it's all about healing the generational wounds, right? This is the biggest thing. So what you have to understand is we have to become a better mother to ourselves than we had. You have to give yourself the permission slip to stop saying, I don't deserve it or would have gotten it. Bullshit. The reason you kept attracting people just like that is because you didn't yet heal the inner child or the emotional imprint that says, this is what it is. So much more on that in my courses. If you guys check those out, you got to heal it, right? Inner Work 1 and 2, check those out. All the other courses, check those out. But we really need to get into one of these courses, mine or someone else's, or books, or, constant learning, to remind ourselves and anchor in the reality that this happened to me. This person was this way to me. I don't know if I deserved it or not, but I'm going to believe, Candace, that I didn't deserve it. And I'm going to dive in and start treating myself better than I was over-treated, cater to myself. See, we do to our inner child what was done to us as a child. So it's very like subconscious. And we have to really get in there with the action steps to shift it. I had a client the other day that literally called me up and she's like, she knows this narcissistic friend of hers. And she's like, but she's doing all this. Should I just call her and like try to make it better? I'm like, you have to do the counterintuitive thing. Calling her and making it better is only going to make it better if you start to agree with her. There is no winning. So what I would suggest you do is not call. And she's like, oh my God, I've never done that. I go, good, because that's why I've never had another outcome. You got to do it differently to get a difference, right? So stop doing that thing. We have to start loving ourselves more. We have to start caring about our emotional selves, validating our emotions, listening to our emotions, sharing it with safe people. Noticing the people in our lives that we walk on eggshells around, get rid of them. They've got to go. They're not going to change. And what that means is just being better about your boundaries and saying to them, actually, I feel like I'm on eggshells around you. I don't like the way I'm feeling right now. Can we talk differently about it? Speaking up on behalf of your inner truth, not hiding it to make sure everyone's happy so that you're safe. That's the old way. If you guys want more help on that, please write me a comment below. Please email me if you feel called. Please check out Instagram. I'm on there daily answering my DMs. Yes, I am someone that does that. And check out the courses because we're starting now. I love you guys so much. Please share this with at least one person you think it could help. I'll see you soon.